Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Velvet Lounge Life. This is going to be a tour of my dressing room and as promised after the redesign. So here we go. So welcome to my dressing room, and please do me a favor and remember to subscribe to the channel as well as give this video a thumbs up. And if you would like other tour videos such as tours of my costume jewelry collection, which is pretty extensive, as well as other things, just let me know and I might be able to do them. But without further ado, here we go. So, as you guys know, I had in a previous video, which I will hopefully remember to attach to this one in the description so that you can check that out to see what this room looked like before this redesign occurred. And I said that I wanted to really whittle down my wardrobe to the items that I actually really like, that truly are my personality, and get rid of everything else that just made no sense. The other goal was to turn this dressing room into more of a boutique feeling dressing room with maybe a tiny little bit of a museum vibe versus just being a warehouse of clothing and boxes of shoes and boots, etc. So I think I definitely met my expectations for what I thought I was going to do. Actually, I think I exceeded them, because every time I thought it was finished, I would be like, ooh, what about this? What about that? And so, yes, one of the things you should add to your dressing room, folks, if you don't have one in there, is a towel rack. So anyway, I just had to add that because you guys probably looked at that for 30 seconds and wondered what is going on. But at the end of the video, as long as I still have time, I will give you some stats on how much I actually got rid of. You guys, I think, are going to be shocked and maybe even a little bit flabbergasted. I know I was, because I was like, wow, we as humans have, even I really, other than my wardrobe and accessories, I try not to have a lot of anything else, but believe me, I had a lot of stuff. So some of the things I did, I'll talk about those to change this room as well. I know that some folks who are into organizing, as I am, yes, you guys, some of us are so boring that organizing is a thing. And we have Facebook groups, etc., just dedicated to that. And I will definitely share some of what I did, because one of the things I truly believe in is reduce, reuse, recycle, upcycle, whatever you want to call it, versus running out buying a bunch of new stuff. If you're just buying new stuff, you're just adding to the problem. As a matter of fact, you're probably making it worse, because you probably can recycle boxes versus buying storage bins. You could look around your house for furniture and things, even decorations, etc., that you're not using on a regular basis, and you could use those in your organization and redesign efforts. So anyway, let's start here at, yes, I have a foyer here in my dressing room, a tiny little foyer, or foyer, excuse me, my French followers. There's tons of recessed lighting in this room, but I did add a little bit of extra lighting. This is a room because it has a almost floor to ceiling window. It has a giant window and also, so it should be a full-sized one, and it also has a closet within this room. So this room initially, when we built the house, was going to be a little office, but because there's only 3 of us that ever lived in this house with many rooms, we actually decided to create an office elsewhere in the home. So my husband has his own, he actually has a gigantic walk-in closet, which was really meant to be used for 2 people. And it's a closet because it has no windows and it has no closet within it. So that one ended up being his, which he was quite excited about when I decided to change this into my dressing room. And that was like, we moved into the house after it was built, and this has always been a dressing room, so it did not like convert from something else. So without further ado, so one of the things that I truly believe in is if you truly love your children, you've been an amazing parent, they're awesome kids, have a tribute wall, tribute areas in your house dedicated to them so that they always know how important and how loved they are. Believe me, they will make amazing decisions. It will be really cool kids as well as incredibly smart. So my daughter, our daughter, I always love to claim her as only mine, created this needlepoint, which she is self-taught. And this used to just be something I kind of tucked above another picture that I have. And now it's dedicated to this beautiful antique frame. Other artwork that she made over the years is here, as well as this beautiful Oriental inspired vintage, because this was actually created in the 1950s. And I found it somewhere. I don't remember where we purchased it, but I found this and it became one of my favorite things for her to wear. And you can see her there in a pram wearing it. This is one of her honor cords. There she is as a wee baby. And so I made sure that that was something I kept in my dressing room, just added to it a little bit. One of the other things I did, I finally went ahead and put a battery in this clock. But I love this clock because I love the sassy lady in it, the design, as well as something else I added, which I never thought in my lifetime I would buy one of these because I always thought they were so. But I found a really good over-the-door storage hanger, and this one, the little clippy things at the top are adjustable, so you can easily push them in, push them out, and it hugs to the door, so when you open and close the door, it doesn't flop about, as well as I added some command strips to the left and the right sides of this just to, you know, make sure that it doesn't move at all. And you saw me open the door, it's solid as a rock. And in this, I have a very extensive and not totally complete, I have others that I store in other places, scarves. So yes, I'm a large lover of scarves ever since I was like, I'm going to say in my 20s, early 20s. I just love scarves, and I have a couple giant belts in there that are just, you know, too bulky really to be anywhere else. Some, like I said, they're giant bulky, like this leather one here, and this just makes perfect storage. And as you can see, yes, every little slot has like 2 items in it. So yeah, you guys, I have a lot of scarves. Here's that other closet I talked about, as well as more artwork. So that's one of the things that you should think about if you are going to redesign or design yourself a dressing room or even like your walk-in closet. If you have one that's large enough, remember, add artwork, add color. You don't have to just have clothes in there or little organizers with your shoes or boots in them. You probably hear me crinkling paper. That's the list I have to talk to you guys about later. But yes, so the artwork is going to be a theme in here, as well as there's another one of those gorgeous mirror, but this frame has a mirror in it, a bevel mirror. More artwork our child made, and of course, a little outfit that my grandmother purchased for me when I was a tiny little tot. And look at this. I don't know if you could read that. Oh, maybe you can now. Yeah, I love the message. And I have lots of hats. Honestly, I have lots of things. Like, I always would say, I'm not really a collector, but I'm kind of a collector. Oh, this crown is not mine. This is from the 1960s, about 1963. No, I'm sorry, 1964, 65. And that belonged to my mother. But anyway, I found that one of the things I have quite a bit of, are hats, scarves, boots, of course. Jewelry, as far as costume jewelry goes, is something I will always continuously collect, as well as hats. I love vintage antique type hats, anything like 1920s up to the 1980s. I love those styles of hats. What else do I really have quite a bit of? I guess we'll go around this room and find out. But books are a theme in here as well, because I am an avid reader, always have been, even as a tiny little child. And Poldark is one of my favorite book series, so I had to feature it here. And I have my Black Angel cards and book in here. And this, because poetry is for real. Yeah, it's a thing. And the Swear Piggies are still here, of course. And I don't know if any of you guys know, but in my household, if you swear, you must put a quarter in the piggy bank. If it's the holidays, you must put $1 in the piggy bank. And usually we just give the money to our child when we go on vacation. So, and here, this lamp is still featured. And this box was actually made by our child as well. Yes, we're pretty crafty type of family, and I got it from my mother, and our child got it from me, which is really cool that it's going down through the generations. You've seen this before, and this is where the Prince needlepoint used to reside, right above that picture, just tucked behind it. This is made by my best friend Kim. Yes, Kim, yes, you are still featured in here. This really cool commissioned piece of art, because I requested it as a gift, was made for me by our child as well. And do you notice something different? This went from here to about here, to about the line that you see right there, full of coats, not coats, jackets, just jackets. Now jackets and suits reside here. So like I said, I have some amazing numbers to give you guys as far as the purge went. Hat boxes are still a thing, because it is one of the other things that I actually have a collection of. And I'm always looking for hat boxes. They're great for all sorts of storage. Mine mainly only have hot hats in them, but I will, if needed, use them for other things. And I wonder whose name that is. And so I was able to, of course, I always display things, so being able to do a better job at displaying is something I've been able to do. This is my Victorian styled inspired pocket, and I will be talking about some of the crafty things that I do, and we will talk about those in another video. And here is my giant Hotel Josephine hat box. This thing is huge, but you could put a lot in it, and I like it, and I love the style of it. What got to me was really the telephone and the little telephone table. Love that. And then I still have a few designer purses that I have displayed, but most are stored, as they always have been, because honestly I'm not really into designer purses. I just like purses that are different. So if it's if it's a Betsy Johnson and it's something truly funky, yeah, I'm there. But if it's pretty standard, and I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on something that doesn't really make a statement other than advertising a designer's name. They should be paying you to advertise. But yes, more hat boxes. This one from the 1960s is made of a vinylette material. They had such creative names for faux materials back then. And Keith Haring has been represented in here with this funky street art. May he rest in eternal peace. I was going to move the hamper from here to there, but accessibility to this, it's like you go inside, you have to duck down to get inside, but you can stand up, walk around. It's like a miniature room. It's definitely a room. You could put a twin size bed in there and furniture, and it's a cool thing. But what we do is we store all of our luggage and bag-like items in there. So we needed to be able to get in and out easily, and moving this, which is so heavy, especially because it has shoes in it, yeah, that would be a pain. So I decided not to do that. And then here we have the coolest sign ever, thanks to that store manager. The reason that it actually took a little, like more than an extra few weeks plus to get this video up is because we're waiting for the battery pack to be delivered that has to go in this. And then what happens is where you see the little black holes, the lights poke through. So we have the lighting. We always had the lighting. The thing is, we need the battery pack because, yeah, I accidentally threw it away. It's a thing. It happened. And here we have the vanity still, of course. That's not going anywhere ever, as far as I can tell. But what did finally bite the dust, thank God, I'm so happy I was able to donate that, is I donated the little ridiculous, just thrown with it to make it more of an attractive sale, vanity stool, because they were calling it a bench. Dude, that was a little stool. And it was like so small. I feel like it was more for, I mean, I could easily sit on it, and I actually had decent, okay height on it, but it did not make sense with this vanity. And me liking modern things as well as things that are antique and vintage, I purchased this modern chair, mid-century modern at that, and you can see the seat in there. Actually, I could pull it out. And I love this chair. Love, love, love it, love it. And yes, it's on a swivel, as they would say, so you can twirl around in circles. Yeah, it's a thing. I did that. But it's perfect for this space and for my, I guess I'll say, personality and style. And then here I have one of my favorite items. It is from a movie, Beyond the Tombstones, with Liam Nielsen. I always say his last name incorrectly. But yes, this is one of the props that was in that movie. There were actually two of these, and I have one of them. And also, these are from when I was like, I'm going to say maybe 16, 17, when I received my first bottle of Royal Dove, or Doves, plural. I think it's plural. No, Royal Dove. And liked it so much that I got another. Yes, these are refilled with another perfume, because that was the whole idea, is that you were able to refill these gorgeous bottles, which is what they did back in the day. Like, now we're into such a throwaway culture. So you organizers out there, one of the things you want to do is buy perfume bottles that have twist off tops, and hopefully they sell the scent in a large bottle, and you could refill. It's a thing. You could do it. I also, yes, another thing I actually didn't realize I collected, antique vanity trays, vanity mirrors. Love them. And you will not see everything I have in my collection in this room. Obviously, we have other rooms in the house that are lucky enough to share some of these treasures. And another thing I found out is I also like hand mirrors. So I have this hand mirror, which actually doubles as a picture frame. And this one says Mode de Paris, with these two gorgeous, super like pre-Victorian ladies with the gigantic hoop skirts. You guys should check out the Closet Historian. And, there's another lady, her name is Rebecca. I will post their links down below in the description. Please check out their channels. They are such a bevy of information when it comes to like historical dress. The Closet Historian focuses on, like, I would say the 1930s up through the even 80s. Like, she's intermixing styles. And then Rebecca does mostly, you know, I would say does mostly historical dress, but she also, both of them sew. They're amazing seamstresses, especially Rebecca. But anyway, next we have this area, and I'm just realizing I'm going to do a second video of this tour because there's quite a bit to see. So I will not like have this go on for an hour, but I will do a part 2 for you. But here I still have this really cool, I don't know, I think this was supposed to display necklaces, but I found that my mini purses, my smaller purses, work on this perfectly. They're balanced, they're not falling over. And then my hat pin collection. So there's hat pins, scarf pins, all kind of pins are on here. The idea is that they have the long sticky part, so that's why they reside here. And the message is always correct. Who, what, where. And once again, little sneaky bits of artwork here and there, because the idea of this design is that you can come into this room and hopefully never really see the same thing twice, because there's so much to see. But it's not overly crowded. You know, look, there's plenty of empty space here. There's room to grow if one decides to grow. And then, yes, Prince has been represented in here as well as I said he would be, because his representation was minimal. And that's enough. That's enough of him. Miniature purses here. And, you know, some of these purses come, like, this is from my mother, my mother, my mother, my mother here. And this one is actually a Jackie O purse. Yes, back in the day when Jackie Onassis or Kennedy was, John Kennedy's wife, when he was alive, of course, they would copy her fashions and put them out there so people can buy the items. And my mother actually was lucky enough to get a piece. And Mickey, my cousin, and I both had one of these, and we would use them as purses. I still have mine, and it even has a little Mickey insert in it because they came with thermoses. And I also have a tag that came with it that's still there. And then here I have stored not all of, that's another collection I have, you guys, that you definitely would be like, wow, you have a lot of sewing stuff. This is my favorite sewing kit with my favorite sewing items in it. Then I have a secondary kit, which is which is the same exact size as this one, but it's a different color, and that one has more of my secondary sewing stuff in it. Like I would use that more for crafts or whatever. This is the stuff I would use more so for fine clothing repair. If I'm going to make something that's a higher quality, like those type of supplies are in there. And don't be fooled, there's like some stuff down here as well inside the basket with a sewing kit. That was hilarious that I was going to say like that was all I had, when that is so not true. But here I have shoes. So there's some shoes in here. There are, you guys don't know me, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so if I see something I don't think is exactly right, I'm going to tidy it up. But there's shoes in there, and there's boots in this one. And yes, there is my cigar purse. I wonder if the Closet Historian has a cigar purse, and if she doesn't, why not? Anyway, and this is beaded, like all that is beadwork that you see on there. And in here, I have like letters, cards, mostly letters, diaries that I've had over the years. And I don't know if this picture is doing you guys any justice, but these baskets are pretty gigantic. So They're full. I mean, they're not full, but I'm saying they're like gigantic. And then there's a couple that are full, obviously. This one, and that has my sewing kit in it. One of my sewing kits. And yes, boots are sneakily here and there displayed in little nooks and crannies, as you can see. Oh, let's not forget this pair right there. There you go. And what else can I show you before signing off so that you guys don't get bored with this? Oh, and I have like vignettes. However, I think a vignette has 3 items. My vignettes might have a few more than 3 items in them. This is a favorite sign that I have that I was just storing with other signs that I have. And I put it in here finally because I never really knew where I wanted to put it, but there it is. Now you see it. It's there. And this is, I consider, my little travel area with the license plate purse, as well as a driving hat, aka cap as I would have called it back in the day. And then here's another little vignette with a favorite pair of shoes, and a very odd pair of shoes. These are actually made of a canvas type material, and notice those shoe ornaments in rhinestone. Come on, you know that's awesome. And here I have a beauty box, which is, yes, that circle with the bullseye is a Target box. But when I got the box and it was full of little beauty treats, I was like, this box is so gorgeous, and the colors and the feathers and whatever. So yeah, it has a home in here, and the word beauty. Come on. And another beautiful paperweight. And yes, you guys, this gigantic monstrosity is a paperweight, and it's huge. It's giant. I don't know how much it weighs, but you have to be careful when you're lifting it up because it's very heavy. And here is where I'm going to stop, and I'm going to just tell you that if you want to know the story behind this cute little shoe, let me know and I will tell you what that story is. It's incredibly interesting, and there's a reason why we only have one of them. It was my child's shoe. Yes, it was. But yeah, I'll stop here on my shoe shine kit. Yes, all proper boot owners should have a shoe shine kit. And even if you have leather shoes, it makes sense if you have a collection. But thank you guys for tuning in for part 1 of my reveal of this hopefully fun dressing room design. And remember to let your star shine. Enjoy your different uniqueness, such as these different and unique purses I have. Remember that your health is your wealth, and without your health you have absolutely nothing. So please, please take care of yourselves, and also have an amazing day. Yes, you are invited. It is 100% free to subscribe to our channel. And yes, the disco ball is ever present. It is not going anywhere. And thank you so much for tuning in, and have a beautiful day. Additional storage.